Today, we're going to prep a freeze-dried meal. Kind of got the inspiration to do something along the lines of a cabbage roll. For this dish, I'm going to use diced onion, diced red pepper, chopped fresh green garlic, sliced cabbage, and some fresh herbs. Really good. Hey everybody, Tyler here. It's been a little bit. About 5 weeks ago, I dislocated my knee hiking off trail, foraging wild leeks and morels. After a little bit of medical limbo, I just got the clear that I do not need surgery. My ACL and LCL are fully intact. I do have 2 fractures on my kneecap, but they'll heal over time. So I'm just doing some light physio to regain my strength and movement. About, I guess, a month and a half ago, I was doing some freeze-dried meal prep with Tosh at Tosh Self-Propelled. Follow him on YouTube and check that video out. We made 4 meals and freeze-dried them all. It was a lot of fun. 2 or 3 weeks ago, he swung by and dropped his freeze dryer off at our house so we could store it for him and I could test some recipes out and send them his way to see what he thought of them. So cool little deal we've got going on. Today, we're going to prep a freeze-dried meal. Over the weekend, we went to the Peterborough Regional Farmers Market downtown. There was a handful of goodies, and one thing that caught my eye was cabbage. And so I was kind of thinking what I could do with cabbage that would be a really fun backcountry one-pot meal. And I kind of got the inspiration to do something along the lines of a cabbage roll. It's very warm and filling, but it's also not very heavy, with the cabbage being a little bit of a balance in flavors. So we're going to prep up some one-pot cabbage rolls. Another ingredient that caught my eye was this beautiful green garlic. It's really early stage garlic, very fresh. The flavor is a little bit more intense, and you can use the whole outside bit up, I don't know, about to here before it gets kind of dirty, but just slice it up and just use it like garlic, but it packs a bit more of a punch. There's also these beautiful fresh herbs. So I've got thyme and I've got some oregano that's gonna go very nice in the dish. On the way home, we stopped at a local meat market and picked up these beautiful Oktoberfest sausage. So I'm gonna use the filling in the sausage instead of ground beef, which I think will give a little bit more seasoning and a little more flavor. We're first going to cook our rice. I'm just going to cook some long grain rice and some chicken stock. Usually if I was gonna cook this for a meal, I would incorporate the rice into the one pot, but because we are cooling some things down and adding some things later on, it'll be better for our rice to go in cool. That way it doesn't get overcooked. High heat, and then turn it down once it hits a boil. Is that a good angle? Really?
Every angle of you is a good angle.
So Tosh told me that he's freeze-dried sausage before and the casings went kind of weird. For the recipe we did at his place, we took the sausages out of the casings. It worked really well. And really, the sausage is the meat inside anyways. The casings don't mean much to me. It's not really that big of a deal anyways. The sausage meat gets nice and crumbly. Ground meat like that dehydrates and freeze dries really well. When I was picking sausages, I just wanted something with that old world European sort of flavor going on, and the Oktoberfest have that with the little bit of clove and black pepper. For this dish, I'm going to use diced onion, diced red pepper, chopped fresh green garlic, sliced cabbage, and some fresh herbs. I'm crying! Whew. Those are some strong onions. Look how pretty this is. Almost there. This is like my least favorite thing to cut. Back in the fried chicken days, I would cut like, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of heads of cabbage. Okay, rice is done. Just gonna put it out onto a sheet pan and cool it. I'm going to sweat the cabbage off first, so I'm just gonna add some butter to the pot. I'll let that melt up a little bit. I'm gonna add the cabbage, let it steam, throw a lid on there, let it wilt down. Then I'm gonna take it back all out. Then I'm gonna start my sauce. Now I've got my pan getting hot. I'm going to add the sausage, going to brown it up. Here's my thyme and oregano, and I'm just going to tie these together with some butcher's twine, just so I can pull them out easier when I don't want them in anymore. Just gonna add some salt at this point, and a little bit of paprika. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to deglaze it with the Athletic Brewing Company Upside Down Blonde Ale. It is suitable for this dish because it's really got some like biscuity malts going on, very light hop. So it's gonna pair with this very European dish quite nicely. And now for the tomato puree. Now I'm gonna add the cabbage back in. What do you think? It's been stewing away for 20 or 30 minutes and I'm happy with the consistency. I'm just gonna pull the thyme and oregano out and dispose of those. And then I'm going to add some of the rice back in. Probably not gonna add all of the rice, just as much as I see fit. Guess I'm just getting right in there with my hands. Just gotta stir all that in. Really good. This is gonna be like a really good summer meal because it's really like filling, soul replenishing, but it's really light in flavor. We have the freeze dryer doing the cool down cycle, and we're going to tray up the food. Freeze dried trays. I'm just going to put a piece of parchment down, cut some parchment. Just makes the tray a little bit easier to clean after it comes out of the machine. We're going to tray them up. I'm going to weigh them out and do some math so I know how much water I have to add back to them when they come out. And we're going to slide them in the freeze dryer and let them run.
So 24 hours later, we pulled the food out of the freeze dryer and Tyler started his mad scientist calculations. He was trying to figure out what the perfect portion size would be. At first, we thought, seems like not enough after a long day of portaging and backcountry camping, and we came up with a much bigger portion.
It's been a couple days now and the food has come out of the freeze dryer. It is light and spongy. Now we're going to break it apart into this big bowl. I've already weighed it out and I did some math to try to figure out my portion sizes. I'm going to pack them in these Mylar bags that we've stickered and did a little bit of a labeling job. I'm going to drop an oxygen absorber into the bag just to suck up any leftover oxygen that's in the bag, and that's enough to preserve the meal for 25 years, which is super cool. I'm also going to use this impulse sealer to seal the top of the bag.
One of Tyler and Tosh's biggest pet peeves is that most freeze-dried meals don't come with a big enough portion. You finish the meal after a long day and you're still hungry. So one of our biggest goals with our Camp Kitchen freeze-dried meals is to make sure that there's enough to have a feast. We're packaging the Camp Kitchen freeze-dried meals in these Mylar bags that are resealable, which will be key in case you don't feel like eating the entire meal.
Okay, we got all those meals packed up, and I also packed up a bunch of the meals that I had done and hadn't properly packaged yet because I just sort of figured out what I wanted to do and how I wanted to package everything. So yeah, we've got lots of meals ready to test out. I've got some trips planned with Tosh from Tosh Self-Propelled. We'll be doing some food reviews. I'm anxious to hear what he thinks about some of the meals. We're going to keep testing the meals out and we're going to see where this all goes. Stay tuned for some upcoming trips to see me test out some of these meals. Subscribe to Tosh Self-Propelled to see what he thinks of some of the meals because he'll be getting some of them too. And subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep in touch. I can't wait to cook with you around the fire. That was stupid.
No, I liked it.
Okay.